10 years ago, Sasha looked up Bill and found him in the Seed Savers Exchange. He recruited me and some other friends. We went down and visited Bill's little edible paradise and checked it out. And quite an amazing spot where he's growing macadamia nuts and a dozen kinds of citrus and 25 apple varieties just packed in his backyard. Really neat, amazing stuff. So he's going to give a presentation on seed saving tonight. So he's going to impart a little bit of his knowledge and wisdom to you guys. So thank you, Bill, for coming up, and take it away.
Greetings. Nice to be here with my favorite people, people who either save seeds or are thinking about saving a seed. I love the story with Christopher finding me in Seed Savers when Sasha found that I was the sole listing of various plants in the United States, and they all connected to one guy in Fremont. So for me, that's kind of where I am horticulturally. I'm always pushing the edge of the envelope. We're trying to do things that other people have never done before. That means it often sends me on seed-saving excursions where I have to go look for things. The last few years I've been working in high elevation Hawaii, gathering forest plants that I've been introducing here into the Bay Area. My take is the weather at 6,000 feet on the Big Island in February is exactly the same as the weather at sea level here in the Bay Area. So we've been introducing plants that actually had never been brought here before. And I love it. I keep moving onward because after a while somebody else catches on, they start doing it, and then there's no room for me anymore, and they need new territory. These are front and back printed one sheet each. You can pass those around. It's the basic notes on what I'm saying this evening, and it also has a kind of a how-to on saving and preparing different types of seeds. So there's some information on there you might want to keep for the future on how to get a seed out of a tomato and put it up for use. I've referred to this as seed saving in the 21st century, an ancient act in a modern world. Because, I mean, every year, like clockworks, plants from the world over manufacture these little genetic time capsules, things that we call seeds. Since the beginning of time, this has brought about a scurry of activity, whether it be with humans or with animals or insects. It really doesn't matter. Planet-wide, things will begin gathering up all of those seeds. This has happened since there was a seed. I mean, it's, with human beings, it's literally from the very dawn, because the seed saving is what gave birth to agriculture. At one point, we were hunter-gatherers, and we wandered around out there, and maybe, say, my ancestors probably gathered wild barley somewhere in northern Europe. Somebody along the line got the idea that they could get over the scarcity and the hunting and the wandering if they just found a good spot to plant some. And so the seed saving started for agriculture. That gave birth to agrarian communities, and essentially, I think we could say seed saving is at the basis of the lifestyle that we now know, because people stopped wandering when they started saving seeds. So whatever your reasons when you pick up a seed, you're engaging in extremely ancient activity. In our environment today, things are going virtual, it's all digital. I can't get my 25-year-old son away from a video game to get involved with anything that's actually real. Sometimes being able to have the catharsis back to the beginning of time, seed saving has not changed one iota, every bit of it. It goes back to the very beginning of everything that ever occurred, and it grounds us in our society today. While everything else is constantly changing in a digital age, rapid fire, gathering corn seed or gathering tomato seeds or whatever sort of seed it might be, that activity is the same as hundreds of generations of human beings who came before you. Seed saving is an excellent way also to span generations and to preserve memories. I have seeds that were given to me by people who were my forebears, and when I plant old Hank Clapross tomato that was given to me in Wisconsin by a 96-year-old man, I remember Hank, and so the memory comes with the seed. I walk into my front yard and I look at this beautiful large Hawaiian koa tree that's growing out there. I remember the time that we hiked up and gathered those seeds on the island. So it's always there with us. The seeds are self-replicating time capsules, and they preserve local varieties in our food supply. They're literally perfect biomachines that allow us to take an acre of tomatoes and to store it in a jar. When you think about that, that's pretty amazing. We still haven't quite come to that. We talk about nanotechnology, but to take all of that coded information and to encapsulate it in something as small as a poppy seed, and then take enough poppy seeds in a quart jar to plant an acre of poppies, and what it will yield, it's astounding. It's literally staggering. Again, it helps us connect with the reality of the biology of our planet, because we kind of get lost sometimes and we forget where we came from. The importance of saving seeds is the same now as it was 5,000 years ago. There's really no difference there. Humans and seeds share the similar primal root, even in a complex technological age. They allow us to time travel back to the origins of agriculture, and it allows us to share that experience with other people. Do we have avid gardeners here? Some? A few hands? Yeah, okay. And I know I've been out there in the corn, in the sun, with a hoe, stroking the weeds between the stalks, and realized that my activity was the same as some Olmec farmer in the Veracruz coast of Mexico 5,000 years ago. I mean, literally, it's a time travel to be able to work with seeds and grow plants. Saving seeds beneficial to our collective consciousness as a society. A person who has a great collection of seeds and has too much squash is far less likely to think Armageddon is around the corner. Really, there's just a little bit too much of that going on these days. So, seed growing and harvest are major international industries today. And so when we consider that, why should an individual bother to save seeds when we have corporations to do it for us? There are a whole list of reasons. By and large, I will stay off the grimmest ones, because I'm sure most of you know about GMO and the keys of the Garden of Eden being owned by genetic engineering firms. If you don't, there's plenty of information on the web on that subject. I'm going to touch the softer sides of this issue because I turn red and start to want to break things when I talk about genetic engineering. For one, I think the first reason is it's very cost effective. Seeds can be expensive. They have gotten more so these days, and so saving your own seed is just a great way to be able to get an edge on expenses in the garden. It's satisfying to our spirit, and it allows us to be able to share our favorite varieties with friends. I sit down at the dinner table and put out a bowl of greens, and there'll be nuts or fruit or something in there, and I'll have a friend comment, and that's a marvelous lettuce. I'm able to actually send them home with some of the genetic material to be able to grow that lettuce, and in some cases I'm the only guy that's got that lettuce, and so I need to share it anyway, because if I lose it, I learned this a long time ago, it's gone. So plant varieties, as Christopher said in the introduction, tend to adapt to the area where they're being grown. You'll see this. If you begin saving seeds, you can take a commercial variety Vortex pole bean. It's a French pole bean that's available in